Hi everyone, how are you? How about making a semi-laminated sweetbread with filling today? Want to learn a bit about baking? Did you know you can make money selling bread? And sweetbread is really easy to make. Today I'm going to teach you lots of great tips. A simple way for you to roll it up, to arrange it on the baking tray so it looks beautiful. Like I said, you can make a lot of money with baking. I'm going to make this bread now and you'll see how delicious it is. So let's get straight to these delicious recipes. For our base, I have prepared 700 grams of high-quality wheat flour, 300 milliliters of fresh whole milk, 100 milliliters of vegetable oil, 15 grams of active dry yeast or 45 grams of fresh yeast if you prefer, and 2 large eggs at room temperature. I will start right here in this large mixing bowl by carefully adding all of the flour, and then slowly adding the rest of our wet ingredients one by one. First, I'm going to add the dry yeast because I personally like to mix the yeast together thoroughly with the white flour. Mix it all very well. Now, at this stage, you can carefully add the 2 large eggs and the vegetable oil. And I will start right here by pouring in almost all of the fresh milk, though you really do not need to add all of it just yet. Add just a little bit at a time because that is exactly what will give the dough the right consistency. I mix it well here and then. Then I carefully check if I need to add a little more. And look, it's definitely very dry, right? So let's add a bit more of the mixture. Add it slowly, little by little. Be sure not to add it all at once in one go, see? There's still a little bit left in the bowl. And continue mixing it thoroughly. For now, just keep on mixing and very soon I'll start kneading it by hand. I've added all the milk into the bowl, okay? I am mixing it very well right now to ensure it is smooth. And here I also have exactly 100 grams of granulated white sugar to add to our delicious recipe. Guys, please remember to add the sugar right at the very beginning of the process, okay? I actually forgot to do that earlier, but now I'm going to add it in and keep kneading the dough thoroughly. Actually, at this stage, we're still just mixing everything together. Make sure to add the sugar together. At the exact same time, you're adding all the other various ingredients into the mixture. First, we have the egg and a portion of the fresh milk, right? And now, the next step is to just begin to knead it all together. Look closely because now I am going to carefully place the dough onto the clean counter surface and start the process of kneading it very well. You will need to continue this rhythmic kneading for about 10 full minutes until the dough becomes perfectly smooth, elastic, and soft to the touch, ensuring all the ingredients are thoroughly incorporated for the best possible results. At the very beginning, you will find it will be a bit soft and sticky, but that is perfectly okay, guys. You should keep tearing it apart just like this to mix all the ingredients together very well. And then we can start the kneading process, carefully spreading some oil on the bottom part of the surface. Here, look closely. I am going to scrape the dough a little to the side, spread a little more oil on the table, move the dough over here, and then just keep kneading it until it is smooth. Hey guys, I really want you to take a close look at how incredibly cool this whole process is. You might find it hard to believe, but I actually didn't even need to use any flour here at all. I just used a small amount of oil. And if you look closely, you can see how impressively dry the surface of the mixture already is. Now, it might seem to you like it is still a bit soft to the touch right now, but it actually gets nice and perfectly dry a little bit later on. So for the next step, I am going to carefully spread a little bit more oil around the inside of the exact same bowl that I was just using for the previous part. Just rub it around gently with your hands so the dough can rest comfortably. And here in this warm spot, it will stay undisturbed until it eventually doubles in size, which should take about an hour. I'll carefully cover the entire bowl with a piece of plastic wrap to keep the moisture in and let it rest properly. Guys, take a look at this. I left it alone for a full hour and the transformation is incredible. Just take a look at how much this dough has grown and expanded during the proofing process. It is absolutely beautiful and airy. Now I can finally start the process of gently pressing it down right here in the bowl, which helps in releasing all the built-up air and gases trapped inside. Once that is done, I'll also carefully take it out of here and place it onto the clean surface of the counter. Now I am going to take this soft dough and begin the careful process of dividing it into exactly 10 equal portions so that every single piece is uniform in size for baking. Once you have finished preparing all of the individual portions and they are ready to go, I am going to show you how to perform a very simple and straightforward shaping technique. All you need to do is carefully bring this specific part over here just like this, moving your hand steadily from the top all the way down to the bottom. Do you see how incredibly easy and simple this process is, guys? It really takes no effort at all. Now I want you to go ahead and repeat this exact same motion with every single one of the remaining pieces until they are all perfectly shaped. To laminate and fill, I have here 200 grams of shredded coconut and 200 grams of butter or margarine. In this case, I'm using margarine. Now just mix the two ingredients together. Now I'm going to take each individual portion of the dough, open it up very well with my hands and carefully take the bottom part to prepare it for the next step, okay? Use your rolling pin to roll it out thoroughly until it is nice and thin. I'm going to generously fill exactly half of the surface area with our prepared mixture, okay? And then for the other half that remains, I'm going to carefully roll it up and make a series of very nice clean cuts to give it a beautiful and professional appearance. You can even use a small kitchen knife for this step if you prefer, okay? Personally, I'm going to use this handy pizza cutter right here. And now I'll make a few careful slits along the surface. Look, but it is very important that you don't go all the way through the dough, guys, see? Just make a few shallow cuts like this. Make sure to leave this part over here completely closed and this other side too. And now, very carefully, I will start rolling it up from here. And just take a moment to look at how absolutely beautiful and stunning it turns out once it is finished. Now listen closely, guys. The coconut that we have right here in this section already has plenty of margarine mixed into it, but you can clearly see that this other part over here doesn't have any at all. So if you really want the final result to be incredibly flaky and delicious, it is definitely best to just go ahead and spread a little bit more margarine right here on this spot, okay? It makes a huge difference in the texture. Please make sure that you do not put any coconut in this specific area right now because I am going to be cutting it into smaller pieces very shortly. This professional baking pan has been thoroughly greased with a layer of vegetable shortening or perhaps a very powerful release agent to prevent sticking. And now I'm going to carefully place all of these individual pieces right here, making sure they are positioned very close together to fill the space efficiently. It should look more or less exactly like this, guys. So take a close look at the spacing. You want to keep them just about a single finger's width apart from each other. We are going to place 5 of them right here in this top section, and then we will take the remaining 5 and position them carefully down here in this bottom area.